We're broadcasting live from the Sundance Film Festival, and we're talking to filmmakers, and we have with us Mary Ann Smothers Bruni, or
Bruni.
Bruni. And Mary Ann is the director of a documentary called Quest for Honor, and it's about honor killing, and this is a subject that I've heard about it before, I've read about it before, and it's almost like I refuse to believe that it really exists. Tell people what honor killing is.
Honor killing is when a father or a brother or a husband kills a woman, usually over some sexual misdemeanor. It may be as little as talking to a man not in the family, or having a cell phone.
Or an alleged sexual...
Yes, very much so.
Very often nothing has actually occurred.
Yes.
How much, and this is in Kurdistan.
This is in Iraqi Kurdistan. Well, that practice is all over Turkey, Turkey, Jordan, Iraq.
Because I read Ayaan Hirsi Ali's book, and she talks about this, and it's shocking. It makes you wonder if this sort of group of people can ever join us in modern society. You know?
Well, that's what our film's really about. Because when I see films on Iraq, I see anything in Iraq, I don't see the Iraq I know. I've been going there 17 years. And this film is not, well, it's about honor killing, but it's more about activist women who are working to stop the practice. And that's something we don't see very often. We see women who are burqa'd and covered, and that's really not the reality. They're women.
Yeah, the activists are a small, growing group, though.
No, I wouldn't say they're small.
Really?
No, in Kurdistan, women have been activists. They were in rebellion against Saddam. They were Peshmerga.
That's right.
They were fighters. The current First Lady of Iraq is a former Peshmerga and camera woman, a filmmaker, and video producer.
How often does this practice happen, really?
I think it probably almost died out, but recently it's been growing, and that's what's so frightening. And not just in Kurdistan, it's not just a Kurdish problem by any stretch of the imagination. I think what's happened is, when I first started going there in 1991, if a girl was told by her father, you're going to marry your 70-year-old uncle, she just did it. She didn't know she had a choice. But now, with the internet, cell phones, etc., that's why cell phones are such a threat to some men,
the modern culture is creeping in.
That's when the wall came down in the Middle East, is when the internet, cell phones, communication came in.
And isn't this precisely what groups like Al-Qaeda don't like happening in the Middle East? This is the kind of thing that gives rise to some terrorism.
But they don't like what?
They don't like these modern things creeping into society.
Yes, but specifically where I've been filming in Kurdistan, you don't have Al-Qaeda. It's actually, this is something else people don't realize. There are parts of Iraq where there is no fighting, and where you can go out on the street, and you see that in our film. You see women on the street, you see women jogging, you see them with their boyfriends.
I heard Kurdistan. I read a profile of it by Christopher Hitchens.
Yeah.
Yes.
I guess he spent a lot of time there, and he loves it, and he loves it there.
He and I share the same first guide over there, Harsher Zoom Zoom.
I was just amazed to see that it was, what's the guy's name?
Harsher Zoom Zoom. Isn't that a wonderful name?
I'm changing my name right now.
And if Christopher's listening, Harsher's fine. Every time he writes an article, he'll put in, I wonder whatever happened to my guide, Harsher.
Listen, if Christopher Hitchen is listening, I'd like him on the show.
Yeah, please.
I'd love the guy.
But I was fascinated to see what a modern kind of place that is. It makes it all the more surprising that this kind of goes on still.
Well, actually, domestic violence in the United States takes out 4 women a day. So it's part of their version of what everybody does.
But the difference is that the men here in this movie, it's like just another thing to them. It's just like something that they're kind of, aren't they kind of cavalier about it? I mean, like, I had to do it. Sorry.
Well, I'd like to say that there's a variety of men's attitudes. That's one thing we really show in the movie. We have two brother-in-laws who are the brother-in-laws from hell, and they just say, yeah.
Yeah, I had to do it. Yeah.
She had a cell phone. What was I supposed to do?
Yeah.
But on the other hand, you have leaders in the Kurdistan regional government. You have the different police people. You have any number of men who are working with women to stop the practice. So I would say they're in the majority, not the. We're showing a practice that hopefully, that by our film and other things like this, will go out of fashion.
These women who are killed, they're usually young, right?
Yes.
Tell me about this image that's on the press packets for your film, Quest for Honor. Tell me about this image. What is this?
That's a woman who was pulled out of a lake and never identified. And the hand that is holding it is one of our activist women. She's showing us examples of what is happening.
It's called Quest for Honor, a documentary film by Marianne Smothers Bruni, and it seems so grim, but there is a hopeful note to this whole thing, right?
Yes, as I said, what we really focused on are the women who are trying to stop this. Masoud Barzani, who's the president of Kurdistan, told someone he was more frightened of the women than he had been of Saddam.
Good for him.
Yes.
There's a man that's intelligent.
That's good news. That is good
There's
news.
a guy who's finally getting the message. I know I'm more frightened of the women in my life than I am of any man I've ever met. Quest for Honor, a documentary film, Marianne Smothers Bruni, and it's
I've got the times
you got
here.
all the times
Would
there.
you like them? Holiday Village Cinema. This is on Monday. Is the first screening. Are you nervous?
I am.
3:15. The Holiday Village Cinema on Monday. Tuesday the 20th at Prospector Square at 5:30 p.m. Friday the 23rd it will be downtown 10:30 p.m. at the Broadway Center. And Saturday, January 24th at the Holiday Village Cinema. Now you were a still photographer. For
Yes.
a long time. So is this your first film?
It is my first
It
film.
is?
Congratulations.
I can see why you might be a little nervous. This
Well,
is exciting for you.
It is.
People will treat you well, I'm sure. Thanks for being with us.
Well, thank you for having me.